Hear me?
Yep. Hello.
How are you?
Good. How about you?
I'm doing well. How are you managing the lockdown over there?
I'm sorry, what?
How are you managing with the lockdown over there?
Honestly, it was starting to really get to me today. I've been doing somewhat decent, but it's starting to really drive me wacky.
I
You
think a lot
know,
of people it is not just you,
huh?
not just you. For a few people, it's already starting to drive them a bit wacky.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure everybody's starting to feel this way.
You're by yourself over there, or you're with a friend?
I have a roommate, but he works,
Ah,
so it
okay,
feels
so
pretty close to being alone.
pretty close, yes. All right. So before we start, it's okay for me to put this on YouTube, on Facebook, on social media. I use it for my courses on my site, and all that.
hmm hmm
Okay, great. Okay, so what do you want to get out of these sessions?
Well, I've had IBS for several years, and I really would like to let go of that.
Okay. How many years have you had it for?
Since the end of 2018, and I don't know if that makes a difference. I had acid reflux starting in 2007.
Second. Before we actually start working on your problem, we're going to do a general tune-up, clearing up whatever's in your life. Okay? You have to know what you're working on. Don't have to remember memories. If anything needs to come up, it will come up on its own. So don't worry about it. First thing I want you to work on, you see a timeline in front of you. And this
hmm
timeline, just a general one, from the time of conception all the way to 120 years. I choose 120 years because in Judaism, there's a thing about living to 120. You might live longer, you might live shorter. For me, it doesn't make a difference. We're going to 120 at this point. Okay? And I want you to look at this timeline and notice that there's bright spots on it, but there might also be dark spots on it, going all the way back to conception. Okay? That's like before you were conceived. Do you see dark spots on it?
hmm
Okay, so what I want you to do is just reach out your hand. In any place there's a dark spot, notice there's a knob underneath. And if you turn it
hmm
to the left, it'll turn darker. But if you turn to the right, it will brighten up. I want you
hmm
to go ahead and brighten up everything in your past. And if you reach out and touch with your hand, you'll get all the more out of it because your unconscious mind does know the difference between what's real and what's not real.
Okay.
Okay, now just notice how your future, what changed over there.
Well, that's what interesting. I saw it all black, and then so I changed it to white.
Your future was also all black, you're saying.
hmm
Now I want you to do is I want you to look at a second timeline. And this is your timeline of your self-worth. Okay, once again, starting from conception, going all the way to 120. And this time, pay close attention. What happens to your future as you change any parts in your past that are dark into being bright? Now, look at a timeline specific for your self-love. From
Okay.
conception to 120, same process, starting from conception. Work in the, how do you say, linear order.
Okay.
Next process, we're chunking down a little bit, okay? This is graphing. Okay, beforehand, we were just looking dark and light spots. We didn't pay attention to any ages or anything like that. You have an x-axis and a y-axis. The x-axis is 0 to 10. 0 means really bad. 10 means up high in the sky. This axis is your age. We want you to have a straight line up like this. If you don't have a straight line like this, if you see ups and dips and ups, dips and ups, or it's all the way down, your job is to raise the line up. You can do it bit by bit. You can just try raising the whole thing up together and pulling it. But at the end of the day, you need to have it up straight. Okay, out of 10. If you feel it's a little bit stuck, you might have to go up and down a little bit so you get it to the top.
Now, what is it we're working on?
self-worth.
I don't know if I understand what you mean.
Okay, here's your graph. You have
Mhm.
a graph line representing your self-worth throughout the years.
Mhm.
Okay, each point of the year is a year in your life. We want your self-worth to be totally up here. Okay, what we do is we start globally, we chunk down, chunk down, chunk down, chunk up, and then do the future pacing to make sure you're in alignment with ever changes that occurred.
Okay, gotcha. Now I understand.
Okay, so the global stuff was the timelining. Now we're going into graphing, which is chunking down a little bit. We're going to chunk down even more soon, either this session or next session, and then even more, and then we'll start chunking up again. Okay, so go to your graph, see the timeline, how the curve goes, and I want you to get it all to be straight. Some people like to do it year by year, pulling it up and down. Some people just like to pull the whole thing up. Any way that it goes for you is fine, as long as at the end you have a straight line at a 10. And this is only until your present age now. We're not talking about 120, we're talking until your present age.
Mhm.
Okay, same thing, graph for self-love.
Okay.
Go to the same thing for self-compassion.
Okay.
Okay, why are we laughing, by the way?
Because I saw myself on a choo-choo train
Okay.
riding along going,
Uh, okay, and now do the same thing with stomach issues. 10 means you're feeling absolutely great. 0 means you're down the dumps, literally.
and do the graph where I pull it up.
That's right.
Okay. This seems so much harder than any of the other ones. That's
Okay.
interesting. Okay.
Okay. Now we're going to get even further down. Okay, so what I want you to do, how old are you?
55.
55. Good age. Close your eyes. See this long hallway in front of you. Veering a little bit to the right. And notice that in each side of the hallway there are doors. And on each door there is a number. And as you go through, it starts with 55 and goes all the way down. And you know instinctively that each number represents a year in your life. Go all the way to the very, very end, the room that says conception. Step inside there. See this big executive chair with your name on it. Sit down. See this big control board in front of you. And on this control board, you have controls and levers of every sort and every kind. I want you to look for the lever or dial that says self-worth. Notice it goes from 0 to 10, where 0 is down the dumps, 10 means little princess. What's your number?
3.
Reach out and touch it. Point to where you feel as you touch it with your other hand. Good. Literally do it.
Say that again.
Reach out with one hand and touch the dial. With your
Okay.
other hand, point to where you feel it inside of you.
So where I feel it inside of me,
As you touch the dial.
right here.
Okay. And now turn the dial up. Noticing the shifts and changes occur inside as you turn it up. Keep turning it back and forth until you can't turn it back anymore, until it's stuck at the 10.
Okay.
Okay? Just make sure you can't turn it back.
Just a little, yeah.
And keep going until it's stuck there, until you can't turn it back from the 10.
Okay.
Okay, now go to the self-love dial. Notice it also goes from 0 to 10. 0 is down the dumps. 10 means full unconditional love. What's your number?
2.
Reach out and touch it. Point to where you feel as you touch it. Turn the dial up. Notice it shifts and changes occur inside as you turn it up. Keep turning it back and forth, so you can't turn it back anymore until it's stuck at the 10 at full unconditional love.
Okay.
Okay, make sure you can't turn it back.
Nope.
Okay, now go to the next dial. Find the self-compassion dial. 0 to 10, 0 means no self-compassion whatsoever. 10 means full self-compassion. What's your number?
1.
Reach out and touch it. Point with your other hand to where you feel it inside as you touch it. Turn the dial up. Notice the shifts and changes that occur inside as you turn it up. Keep turning it back and forth, till you can't turn it back anymore, till it's stuck at the 10.
Okay.
Sure you can't turn it back?
No.
Okay. Now go to the dial that says stomach issues. 0 to 10. What's your number?
5.
Reach out and touch it. With the other hand, point to where you feel as you touch it. Turn the dial up. Notice the shift and changes occur inside as you turn it up. Keep turning it back and forth, till you can't turn it back anymore, till it's stuck at the 10.
Okay.
Okay, make sure you can't turn it back down.
Nope.
Remember, this is conception, when Miranda is still just a little spark in the sky.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So call her over to you. Does she come?
Yeah.
Give her a big hug. Tell her how much you love her, how much you always loved her, how much you always will love her, and then tell her anything that you think she needs to know in order to maneuver through life in a better way, to be more successful in life, to be happier in life in every possible way, to be the best version of herself that she can possibly be. And let it go right down to her DNA, to be encoded over there automatically, effortlessly, and naturally, so that she can use it whenever she needs it without having to think about it.
Okay.
And then bring her into your heart, where she belongs. And as you step out the door, I want you to notice how you hear the clicking of all the subsequent levers and dials changing in accordance with the changes you just created right now. And then go into the next room, which says birth. And go over to that big executive chair with your name on it, sit down, find the control board in front of you, find the self-worth dial. 0 to 10, 0 is down the dumps, 10 is little princess. What's the number?
8.
Good. Reach out and touch it. Point where you feel it inside as you touch it. Turn the dial up. Notice the shift and changes occur inside as you turn it up. Keep turning it back and forth, till you can't turn it back again, till it's stuck at the 10.
Okay.
Okay, make sure you can't turn it back.
Okay.
Now find the self-love dial. 0 to 10, 0 is down the dumps, 10, full unconditional self-love. What's your number?
It's 10.
Good. Just try it to make sure it doesn't go down.
Okay.
And now your self-compassion dial. 0 to 10, 0 is down the dumps, 10 is full self-compassion. What's your number?
It's a 9.
Reach out and touch it. Point to where you feel with the other hand as you touch it. Turn the dial up. Notice the shift and changes occur inside as you turn it up. Keep turning it back and forth, till you can't turn it back anymore. Stuck at the 10.
Okay.
Okay. Just make sure it doesn't go down.
Nope.
And now the stomach issues dial. 0 to 10. 0 means down the dumps, literally. 10 means feeling totally great inside. What's your number?
8.
Reach out and touch it. Point where you feel as you touch it. Turn the dial up. Notice the shift and change that occur inside as turned up. Keep turning it back and forth, till you can't turn it back anymore. Still stuck at the 10.
Okay.
Okay, just make sure you can't turn it back down.
Nope.
Pull over that little baby Miranda. She was just born, probably really cute. She come to you.
Mm-hmm.
Give her a big hug. Tell her how much you love her, how much you've always loved her, how much you always will love her. And then tell her anything else you think she might need to know to maneuver through life better, to to lead her life more successfully, to be able to be the best version of herself that she can possibly be throughout every single moment in her life. And let it go right down to the level of her DNA, to be encoded over there, to be expressed naturally, effortlessly, and automatically, anytime she needs it, without even having to think about it.
Okay.
Okay? And then bring her right into your heart where she belongs.
Okay.
Now step on out. Notice how you hear from all the subsequent rooms till today, all the levers, all the dials, all the anything else control on the control board, how they automatically change in accordance with the changes you've created right now. And then come on back down that big hallway and come on back to here today.
Okay.
Okay, your job, aside from the normal stuff that you do for Fast Reactive, which is writing down in your gratitude notebook 3 things every day that you have that you're grateful for. If you can come up with 3 new things every day, all the better for you. 3 things that you want that you don't yet have, but as if you already have it with all the emotion. Okay,
Mhm.
number 1. Number 2, you have to look for any positive changes, no matter how small they might be, and report them back to me next week.
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay.
how you feeling?
Okay. Tired, but good.
Tired is good. You're supposed to feel tired. Means
Mhm.
that shifts have been occurring.
Mhm.
Okay, so next week, same time.
Okay.
Okay, take care.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, send me that thing and I'll print it out and send it back to you.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Okay. Thanks.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.